Hello, everyone. Welcome to On the Noise with your host, me, DJ Patty G, here for a whole new semester. I am so excited to be here today and at a whole new time. I know last semester was a new time, but it was still on Friday nights. But, I decided to switch it up this semester and really go for it and just do a daytime show. And so we'll see how that goes. And I'm back down to 1 hour. Sorry if you're disappointed. But 2 hours to find a lot of music. It was a lot. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm glad I did it. And I'm glad for all of you who stuck out and listened last semester. But this semester, I decided I'm going to keep it at 1 hour. But that does not mean we will still not have a lot of fun. And that does not mean that the themes will not stop. Today's theme, if you're new here, I guess I should introduce what my show is. If you're new here, I have a theme here every week on the Noise, and it can just be any different theme. I have had normal types of themes, I suppose you could say, such as love songs or songs about space, very generic ones. And I've also done really specific ones, such as fictional bands or artists who went solo. So today it is more of a specific theme. However, the songs are definitely more on the pop side, definitely more on the side of songs that everyone knows. I always like to start it out easy at the beginning of the semester, kind of ease into it and everything, and go from there. I'm really excited for this semester, hoping I can get more interviews up this semester. I really enjoy interviews. I love learning about people's lives, and I've emailed some people trying to set some things up. I know I promised you guys that last semester, so let's hope that this semester works. 2019 is our year for On the Noise. Speaking of 2019, it is our last year in the teens, at least for a long while. And so I thought it would be appropriate then to make our theme all about teens. Teens can sometimes be the worst, but they can also do some really great things. And the songs that we have picked out for today are all by artists who started out when they were teenagers. Most of the songs are from their teen years. However, I did cheat a little bit and let some songs go through that were made by these artists who started out when they were teens. However, the song that I might be playing may not be from their teenage years. Anyway, so I'm really excited, so I won't make you guys wait any longer, and we will go ahead and get started with one of my favorite artists. Her name is Lorde. She is from New Zealand, and she started out when she was 16, I believe. And she was a huge hit. You probably know her song Royals. And I'm not going to play that song, but I will play songs from her first album, which was also made when she was still a teenager. I have seen Lorde live. She is amazing. It's incredible. Amazing show. Definitely recommend. So these first two songs are from her first album, Pure Heroine. And I will be playing White Teeth Teens. Thought it would be appropriate for this show. And then 400 Lux. Billie Eilish is blowing up right now. Everyone's talking about her. She's all over music news and everything. Anyway, so she's only 16. I think she's 17 now, but she was only 16 whenever she started. And that's just crazy to me. The fact these teenagers honestly make me feel bad about myself. I just turned 20 last year. So the show is very appropriate for many reasons. I just got out of my teen years. But it's crazy to think like these kids are doing all these crazy things, and then when I was a teenager, like I was just kind of chilling. I mean, I did stuff in school, but nothing like this crazy. So it's just crazy. It's really cool. Also makes me feel bad about myself, but it's okay because I got my own things going on, and not everyone becomes crazy successful when they're teens. Most people don't, but it's still insane to watch this and see it. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So our next teen for today, sorry, I'm used to saying tonight because usually my shows are at night. But our next teen for the day is Avril Lavigne. You guys all know her. You all probably love her. She actually just recently came out with some new music. I listened to the one song that I think, Head Above Water. I listened to that. It was good. I think it's about her suffering from Lyme disease, so that's pretty cool that she's kind of talking about that, can be a spokesperson for that, and for people who suffer with that. But I'm going to play some of her old songs. I love her old songs. I remember listening to them as a kid, from her album Let Go, her very first one. Real quick before I play the song, have you guys heard like the crazy conspiracy theories about it? Well, just in general, like conspiracy theories are really big nowadays. But about Avril, people say that she like died after her album Let Go because of her grandpa. And then like some girl replaced her. And Avril has spoken out and been like, "Why are people saying this? This is really dumb." I feel really bad for her, but it's also kind of funny. But I feel bad. So if you're at one of those Avril Lavigne is dead conspiracy theorists, please stop harassing her. Leave her alone. I think she's very much alive. She was a kid whenever she started singing, because people will be like, "Oh, well, look how she's changed. Like, look how her facial features have changed, her music and everything." Well, yeah. I believe she's in her 30s now, or at least in her late 20s. So I believe she would definitely change quite a bit. I don't think it was her dying. I think it was her growing up. So let's just put that to rest. Unlike Avril, she wasn't put to rest. All right, I'll go ahead and play the song and stop going off on this tangent. So here is my two favorite songs from Let Go, Complicated and Skater Boy. All right, guys, that was Avril, and moving right along, our next artist is some old school Paramore. Big shout out to my very good friend Emily Faust. Thank you for listening right now, by the way, and thanks for being my Paramore buddy. She is an old school Paramore fan, and has always been a big fan, and we saw the concert last year, and it was so much fun, and they are probably my favorite band now. They were actually my top artists on my Spotify year thing, that app thing. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I love Paramore, and I love listening to them all the time. So yeah, here is Conspiracy and Crush, Crush, Crush. Alright guys, welcome back. You were just listening to some Paramore, who started when they were really, really young, and they are actually from Franklin, here in Middle Tennessee, and they had some members. I think Zach Farah, the drummer, was 12 years old when they started, so they were really young, but they have been around for a long time, and they released an album 2 years ago, very different from their old music though. But I still love it. That's actually how I discovered them. And just a big fan, and they have just been in the music business a long time. They have had a lot of drama, been through a lot, but they seem to be kind of going on the right track again. And Zach Farah, who I was just talking about, just recently rejoined the band for their last album, and a lot of Paramore fans were excited about that. All right, guys, so let's get into our news for the day. As for weather, not too bad. It has been really cold some days and then mediocre other days. I would say today it's pretty warm, actually. I almost have taken my jacket off a few times with the sun out. It's been really nice, so it'd be cool if we could keep this weather. But if not, if it gets really cold and it snows, I'm from Pittsburgh, so I don't like snow that much because I've just experienced too much with it. However, I do like it if school closes. So if the university closes and it snows, I'm fine with that. Otherwise, keep the snow away from me. That's just me. I know most people from here do not agree. All right, guys. So moving on, we have our next artist is JoJo. Now, before I move on, actually, I would like to say so last semester, I believe, or last year, I did a child star theme. Basically, kids who start out in the TV business or movie business and then switch over to music. And so I tried to avoid artists who were like that for this show and just did artists who started out purely with just music and not in the TV or movie business first. All right, so moving on, I have JoJo, and this is actually our new music for the day. And JoJo, very interesting about her. So she started, I want to say, when she was 13, singing songs that should not have been singing. She was singing about like her boyfriend cheating on her, and I'm like, what middle schooler is getting cheated on by their boyfriend? Whatever. Maybe that was just me. I mean, I didn't like have any relationships in middle school, but you know what I'm saying. Even JoJo herself said she was way too young to be singing about like relationships and all that. But when she was little, her record label like wronged her, and so I believe she left, or I don't know the whole story behind it, but basically she left, but they still had the rights to all her music, and for some reason they refused to release it on streaming. And so JoJo decided in December 2018 to release re-recordings of her old music, so that way her fans could still listen to it and stream it. And so she released it. Not really sure how that all works with copyright and everything, but she found a way to do it. And so it's the 2018 version of this music. So obviously it sounds a little bit different, but still pretty good. I prefer the original, but still pretty good. And that's really, I think that's so cool that she did that for her fans. Anyway, so this is JoJo, which she actually came out with some music a couple years ago, made her comeback. So just a really cool story overall. Anyway, I'm used to having 2 hours now, and so I'm used to just like talking a bunch. I'm like, oh, I need to actually like go. Anyway, so let's move on. This is Too Little Too Late, the 2018 version by JoJo, and right after that is Leave, Get Out, also by JoJo, 2018 version. All right, guys, that was JoJo. Moving on, we are almost done for the night, for the day. I keep saying night, man, really stuck in that zone. But before we go, I still have a few more songs for you guys. Don't worry. But I want to do a little self promotion. I am not really good at self promoting. It makes me uncomfortable, but I've been working on it because obviously I need to, if I want people to hear about me. Anyway, so I am starting a podcast with my good friend Mia Taylor. She goes to school in Michigan. So she's far away, but we'll do it over Skype and everything. And I'm really excited about it. It's called WAC. My mom was saying, it could stand for Wild and Crazy Knowledge, which I think is really cool. Basically, the premise of the show, or the podcast, I guess, is we're just going to talk about a bunch of random things that interest us, mostly in pop culture, probably. And we are going to be recording it on Thursdays and hopefully posting it by Fridays. So the first episode should be out this Friday, and you can follow me on Instagram, pglover2447, if you would like. I will also post it to my Facebook. I'll try and post it everywhere that I can. There should be a YouTube link for it. It will just be called Whack Podcast. And I will post it on my personal YouTube channel as well. That's just On the Noise is the YouTube channel, and I have an interview from last year that I did, or last semester that I did on there. So if you guys would like, you can definitely go check that out. And I'm really excited about it, so it'd be really cool if people listened. And I just thank everyone for supporting me and my friends who are trying to do fun things like this. All right, so moving on, our next artist is Adele, and I obviously knew Adele before. Everyone knows Adele, her popular songs, but I went through and listened to her first 2 albums the whole way through, and they were so amazing. I sometimes forget how amazing her voice is, and it's just crazy, and her music is so good. So I definitely recommend her if you would like to listen to her. And her first album, 19, perfectly appropriate name for this theme. I am going to be playing 2 of my favorite songs from there. One is a happier song, one is more of a sad one. First one is called Right as Rain, and the second one is called Chasing Pavements. So here is Adele and her album, 19. Alright guys, that is all for tonight. For today, sorry, I keep messing that up. That is all for today, and thank you guys so much for listening. And I thought this was a really great to the start of the semester, and I'm really excited for this semester and hope you guys can keep listening. And I will be here next week at the same time, Monday, 12 to 1. Thank you guys. Have a great day.